Hi, hi, insurers. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You're most welcome to this 22nd motivational talk organized by the Women in Insurance. For those joining us for the very first time on this Women in Insurance motivational talk, we do carry this out every single month. And for those joining in for the very first time, for those that have realized it was women in insurance, so some may be asking themselves why we have the men on board. I used to ask myself this question, but when I attended the African Insurance Association conference that was organized earlier in Namibia, when we had the luncheon meeting with the Iowa ladies, they actually brought into light that we need the men to push the agenda. So as we're having these conversations about the insurance industry and the women and how far we can get ourselves into it, we should walk along with the men because they're the ones who are going to push the agenda. They need to understand us and they need to appreciate us. So therefore, invite all those male friends in the industry, the decision makers. We need them here in the room, and they're very, very important amid this discussion. So as I said earlier again, what has brought us here today is to delve into the topic of the qualities that define you as a distinguished insurance practitioner. And this cuts across to all players in the industry, right from the executive management down across the line. Everyone contributes very, very importantly to this industry. And we shall be having our amazing speaker, that's Caroline Athiyo, whom I will read her profile so that we get to know more about her. I, for one, I know her in person. I am so excited that she is the one giving us this topic. But for us that do not know Caroline, who is she? Caroline Athiyo is a seasoned insurance professional with over 15 years of experience in the Ugandan market. She currently leverages her expertise as the Chief Commercial Officer at Minet Uganda Insurance Brokers Limited, a leading insurance brokerage firm. In her role, Caroline focuses on generating new business opportunities and crafting innovative insurance solutions tailored to the diverse needs of clients across various sectors. Her deep understanding of the industry enables her to identify growth potential and develop customized plans that effectively mitigate risks. Caroline's extensive experience encompasses a broad spectrum of insurance practices, including insurance program profiling, project insurance for complex risks, claims management, oil and gas, exploration, development, and production. That's under the oil and gas. Caroline brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise, having worked on numerous projects across various domains, including renewable energy, that is solar and wind, hydropower, that's for the construction, generation, distribution, and transmission, and exploration, development, and production. Her education background includes senior associate, insurance and risk management, certified marketeer with the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK, and an advanced diploma in business administration. Since 2008, Caroline has actively participated in various trainings to stay current with industry trends and best practices. These include Introduction to Engineering Risks and Insurance, that's by Africa Re, Introduction to Oil and Gas Insurance, focusing on upstream, stroke onshore and offshore risks. Introduction to Risk Management, that's another College of Insurance, Insurance Product Development, Property and Liability, offered by the Uganda Institute of Insurance, Certificate in Effective Risk Management, Energy Risks, focusing on oil and gas risk. That was offered by the UK and Lloyd's in the UK. Insurance Sales and Business Training, offered by the Insurance College of Training, Kampala. Corporate Governance Training. Then we have the Corporate Governance Training, again by the Uganda Institute, by the Insurance Training College. Then Proportionate Risk Assessment for Insurance Products. then certificate of proficiency, certificate of achievements, and thereafter she got the Unisure Protect and Provide Workshop Series, a certificate of continuing professional development. I guess we have heard who Carol is in a nutshell. Caroline Athiyo, right about now, I do invite you, our amazing speaker, to get deep into this topic, and we are all excited listening to you. The platform is yours, Caroline Athiyo.
Good afternoon, ladies. Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. I'm very excited to be here in the house with you and also to share my story and journey in the insurance sector. Today, as you have heard, the topic, qualities that define you as a distinguished insurance practitioner. And it's today that I'm going to share with you what it takes to be a distinguished insurance practitioner. Many years ago, when I started this journey, it was a time when the sector was very, very young. And I must say at that time, we did not have a number of insurance brokers that we see today, a number of insurance companies that we see today, and also the number of ladies that we see today. It was purely male dominated. And at that time, you had to navigate your way up, and you had to make sure that you're on top of your game. And that is how I joined the sector. And how did it start? I started as a young graduate looking for opportunities. And at that time, during my vacation, I was working with my mom at her supermarket. I came across a gentleman who was from Kenya. And he is the one who introduced me to the insurance sector. He saw the potential in me at that time. He saw what I could offer. He saw, I think he must have seen my customer etiquette, how I would handle the customers, how I'm engaging the customers. And it is that point that he requested my parents to allow me join his company. So I was the first employee, and he became my mentor. He actually, having joined him, I met many others along the way, and who today I'm sure are on this call. And I want to thank you so much for going or carrying me along in this journey. And along the way, I was able to understand a number of things, the dimensions in the sector, and it propelled me to take a notch higher and make sure that I appreciate the industry more. So it is through that mentorship and guidance that I was able to have a roadmap in my journey. So I must say that looking at the power of mentorship, it is a key anchor for me, and it has shaped me to whom I am today. Just knowing how to navigate the policies, just to know how to handle clients, just to know what needs to be done, it is something beautiful. I was able to identify who I am along the way. And I understood the personalities, my personality. I understood the traits. I understood what I have to do. So the power of mentorship is great for us as a quality, and it's something that we need to all embrace. So this, I would request that we move on to the next slide, because the slides are not moving. Sorry. What is being shared now is something that a message I've shared to you, beautiful ladies. Your unwavering commitment to excellence and innovation has truly reshaped the insurance industry. As I've said earlier, the industry had very few ladies, very few. I remember Madam Sevia Hajat was very instrumental in shaping some of us. Your expertise and hard work are commendable, and I want to express my sincere appreciation for all that you do. Each day, each week, each month, and the years passing by, I can see the growth of ladies in the industry. Your resilience, the vision are not just driving success, but also empowering those around you. So I'm so excited when I get to see that the number of ladies in the industry is growing day by day. We are now climbing up the ladder. At times, we will not even see any lady CEO in the spaces of the boardroom. So, but today, we are able to see these ladies in the boardrooms. We are able to see the professional ladies, and we are able to see everyone doing their best in where they sit. So keep up the fantastic work and keep pushing boundaries and setting new standards for excellency. Your today creates a legacy and inspiration for tomorrow. So I would want to encourage every lady in the call today is that the seed that you have planted is not in vain, but it is something that will blossom. And many years later, you'll appreciate. I did not know that I would stay for this long in the industry and growing then, because when I joined in, I really did not have any idea of what insurance was. I had the basics, yes, but when it came to the technical know-how, when it came to navigating, when it came to now selling, it became something that I learned, studied, and this is what I'm going to share. So having said that, I want to point out what were the good qualities. I've mentioned the power of mentorship, which is great, and it is how I navigated through the mentorship and guidance that has enabled me to be who I am today in the area of excellence, in area of expertise, in areas of what to know what we need to do. So our agenda today will talk around power of mentorship, your character, and need to build your personal brand. What does it take for you to do that? The in-depth of insurance and product knowledge, including the technical and good communication skills, and then also understanding your clients and stakeholder relationship. This I felt are very good qualities for us to distinguish ourselves as an insurance practitioner. And as you know, insurance is not tangible, it's not a product. It's a promise that we sell, it's a service that we offer. So it is through that we need to deeply look into what we have to be. So having said that, the power of mentorship is something that is very key, and to me it is an anchor that actually shaped to me to whom I am today. It also accelerates our growth by showing us a clear path with fewer distractions and obstacles. Many times, if you don't have anyone shaping you, not knowing what to do, who to guide you, especially in the insurance space, there are different levels. Maybe you join in as a graduate, a trainee, but you inspire or you want to be a CEO. What do you need to do to get to that level? And it's at that point that when you have a mentor, they will be able to fast track that and position you. I know some of us, our organizations, we have mentors and coach and those who coach to make sure that some of the employees are fast tracked to achieve what they want to achieve in the near future. It also unlocks untapped potential and propels us towards success. Indeed, the power of mentorship, the mentor you have will always check on you, find out whether you are on track or not, and gives you the guidance, support, and wisdom so that you are able to navigate not only as a professional or in your career growth, but also at a personal level. This could be around investments that you want to have, or you plan to have maybe a family, or you want to do many things, juggle with so much, but at times you can't get to where you want to be. But it's at this point that you'll really get a lot of support. And the information, the insights you get and knowledge is just it's great. So it is at this point that when we look into the qualities of mentorship, we'll need to look into what now an insurance professional needs to do. Now, this takes us to what we would think, what I would call being somebody who is a trusted person. Remember, in insurance, it's something that you are not, it's not a product that you're selling. The person is not able to see. So our currency here is trust. The currency trust is very important for us here. And you need to be a trusted person. You need to keep your word. Personally, clients have to trust me, and so that I'm able to deliver what they want. And if you don't do that, then it becomes very difficult for you to sell or to be able to offer your services. So your character and the need to build your personal brand is very, very important. How do you build yourself? I've mentioned that it is through trust, and it is beyond just having the logo, the slogan. You need to now identify yourself. You need to come up with your value. You need to come up with your expertise. Who is Carol? What does Carol do? Is Carol able to deliver what I've told him to say? So whatever you say, you need to deliver. Like you know, you have your values, you are able to work around those values, the integrity aspects of things, the expertise. If I'm talking to Generation X, how am I relating? How am I communicating? Am I able to offer the solution the client needs? So it's important that each time we are out there, your character builds your personal brand. So this is very significant in our industry. And how is that? We are in a very competitive marketplace. So your personal brand sets you apart from other colleagues. So you need to now ask yourself, who is Carol? What is my brand? What do I need to do? How, either my dressing, my expertise, the knowledge, how do you stand apart from the rest? So it's also an emotional connection that each time you are, if you know what you do, you know what is going on in your sector, the clients get to be loyal to you. They kind of understand you are the go-to. They kind of know that if there's any problem, if there's any issue around risk, you are the go-to person. So already you have defined your brand, who you need to be. Being consistent and authentic, that builds trust around yourself, around your community, and also your clients. And it gives you an upper hand each time you are engaging your clients and your stakeholders. So you feel secure at that point. The clients, you feel secure yourself because you know what you do, but also your clients feel very much secure when they entrust you with their insurance needs. And remember, your personal brand extends beyond just your professional life, because you never know where you'll find these clients. You'll find them in other social events, but it is the perception. It affects the industry, your perception, your relationship, and the long-term success. So my other quality, and having understood that we need the power of mentorship, having understood we need to be a trusted person, and knowing that the currency is basically trust, and what you need to do when you're doing your job, and which forms your character. You have to have an in-depth industry and product knowledge. You must be interested to know what is happening in the industry, the trends, global patterns. You have to be part of the many activities and be privy to so much in terms of risk, in terms of the new developments coming up, the emerging risks that are coming up. This gives you a competitive edge. And you can also read in case of having limited capacity. You can't get so much from from your workplace, you can start learning and studying professional courses which can enable you have a competitive edge. So it's important that we go through this by making sure that the knowledge is important. As you are aware, there are a lot of emerging risks that are coming up. You can't keep on telling the client that it is purely fire that you need. No, you have to understand what the risk need is. You have to understand the trends in the market. You have to understand the data, what's the historical data of the client. Maybe the client was faced with so many claims, and with those so many claims, maybe it's not about just the insurance, because that increases his premium each year. It could be around risk management. So with all this information, it takes you to how competent are you technically, your communication and negotiation skills. How are you communicating? How are you negotiating on behalf of your client? The customer service, how do you engage your customer? It's not that you have to pick the instructions and making sure that you have the policy done, you have earned yourself a commission, and you put everything to sleep. No, you need to now create more avenues of how to engage the client on a daily basis. And even at that point, you'll be able to have growth, business growth, whereby you can understand that the client is growing. Maybe there are other areas of risk that you have not handled, and that is the point that you need also to handle them. And also the client seeing you on a regular basis gives him comfort that, yes, indeed, I have a true insurance partner. So the organization skills, the processes, today we have a lot of new developments in IT. So the use of technology is very paramount for us here. So the know-how and the process are really needed for the business, especially for your organization. So it's important that we now reach out to understanding that. So having said that we have to understand the in-depth industry and product knowledge, you cannot communicate or convince and win clients if you do not understand what you are selling, if you do not understand the product, or if you're not giving them the right information. Insurance is always understood as being a technical and complex subject. And at this point, I want to say that selling insurance it's understood to be the toughest job. But if you have a good mentor, if you have an in-depth of knowledge of the product and the industry, and if you are able to navigate with the insurance markets, and you know which markets are good for you, and you have your good communication skills, then insurance is very easy. As long as you are able to explain to clients, because clients, the minute we start giving them quite a lot of information, some information that are very technical, they seem to shy away. So clear policy explanations are really very important for us. So good communication, you make the client understand, you make the client have different options, and that can easily inform them of what they need, so it can take care of them to make a decision. So making it simple and precise, it's critical for us, for the client to understand what we do to start with. And for instance, we have mentioned that we are all in different spaces. You can have insurance broking, we have risk carriers, we have loss adjusters. What is your role? Be very precise with what your role is to the client, so that the client doesn't get confused, so that the client is able to understand how he's going to engage you. So it's at this point that we are saying effective communication is very key to our business. So the ethical conduct is also part of our in-depth of understanding the industry. We are a regulated market. We have to adhere to the insurance regulations, and also to maintain our confidentiality, the confidentiality of our clients. Many times we have seen now that regulator is following up on a number of issues. We have players who are not doing a good job, and in terms of issues around confidentiality, issues of not doing the right underwriting, areas where the claims are not being paid due to one issue or the other. So that alone is very important that we actually comply. We need to comply to all the regulations. And then how do we now earn our trust? The client trust is very important. You cannot tell me today that once I have said that I'll deliver my policies to you today, and then you deliver it the following month. You cannot tell the client that this is what it covers. I'll give an example of a goods in transit, but you're telling him that it's a fidelity guarantee. The minute the loss or the fraud by your employee will be covered under goods in transit, then when he lodges a claim for that, you tell him, no, it's not payable. So there's already a misrepresentation. So it's important that even when we are guiding our clients, as I've mentioned earlier, the product knowledge is critical so that it enables you to get trust from your clients. So that impact, I've given this example, the consistency of doing what you're supposed to do builds a lot of trust by your clients. So we'll now get into understanding your clients. And when we understand our clients, what are we saying? The first qualification on that is that we need to get more involved with our clients from the onset. Getting involved with our clients is by us understanding their needs and concerns. Those are the risk needs that we need to share. We need to apply our selling skills. And if you look at the industry today, the terminology and how complex it is in terms of interpretation of policy wording, you need to make the client understand that indeed you are able to add value to what you are offering. So we have to think for the clients and even go ahead at times to come up with tailor-made solutions. So we need to apply logical thinking when we are gathering and analyzing a lot of information to enable us issue these policies. So once we understand this, then we are having that analytical heart of understanding exactly what needs to be done. And then most importantly, we also need to understand the competition. How do you want to strategically position yourself so that you're able to win? And at times it's very competitive. At this point, I want to stop, and I'm not sure if we have the slides moving. Yes, now they're moving, sorry. So I'll just share an experience here whereby when you're offering this service and there are many people or many companies that are also making the same pitch, you have to strategically position yourself on what you need to do. If you find out, dig more, listen to the client, make the client know that you know what his business is all about, know what he is doing in terms of his operations. Try to understand where the protection gaps are, so that if we get to know, or you know that these are the gaps that you have, that the client has, then you have strategically positioned yourself and you are able to give a proper solution for the client. Many times when you are not able to do so much for the client or get a lot of intel, the proposal or the response to the client is a bit shallow, and the client many times might not feel very comfortable with you. So the analytical abilities are very critical, and this takes you to even making sure you get into the attention to detail, whereby you have to now start thinking of how am I going to make sure that I've understood this client's business? How am I going to profile his risk? What do I need to, what kind of policies or insurances does the client need? How do I need to engage the market? Have you made an assessment of the market in terms of are their treaties good, or do they apply to the client? And so these little details, they are really key. They're important, and this takes you into from the underwriting stage into the claims stage, whereby you tend to get gaps when a claim arises, and you kind of ask yourself, what could have gone wrong? And we have seen cases, we have seen times when the regulator calls some of us in to just explain what could have gone wrong. So it's important that that attention to detail is looked into. We also need to make sure that we keep updating our clients on areas that would impact their insurances and the new trends and the patterns in the insurance industry. We have seen under the technology space, when it comes to data management, how do you store your data? Most clients are now storing them in the cloud. When it comes to regulations, there are so many regulations now that we have to adhere to. At times, it also affects our clients. How are we communicating to the client so the client is well prepared and is able to adhere to those regulations? Market changes, this can be derived from the reinsurance point of view, where we see that some markets are not accepting. They have low appetite, for instance, for certain risks. But here you are with a certain risk that you have to place, but it's now at that point that you'll have to now explain to your client the dynamics, the challenges that you're facing and the solution that you're going to offer. So it's very important that we drill in, we get into making sure that we get into the little detail of how you're structuring or how you're engaging your client. And with that, we have seen that giving clients solutions and understanding your clients and getting more involved, especially at the point of underwriting, even giving that training, the inductions that you take, understanding the competition, understanding the different markets that you engage in. It gives us now a different dimension of things, and that will lead me now to how you relate with your clients and the key attributes that should contribute or attribute to thriving, to being a thriving insurance practitioner. So the client-centric approach is that sums it all. We have talked about it, what we need to do for our customers, how we need to have that expertise, how we need a mentor, how we need to understand the insurance industry, the market, but not only the insurance industry, but also the sectors that your clients are in. You can, when you, maybe for instance, if you look at the telecoms, you'd want to have a study on what maybe MTN is offering, what Airtel is doing, what is retail doing, so that you try to give a robust solution for the client. So putting the needs of clients is very crucial, because you're reaching out the client, you're engaging them, you're understanding the patterns, the changes. The client a very good, it gives the client to be in a very comfortable place. Then listening to clients. Listening to clients is really critical. More listening to the client gives you the ammunition to understand what products that you need to align, and then what are the requirements, and what is the business potential. And then it also makes the client now build the trust in you. And in the long run, you have a long client, a long-term client that you have retained. It's very difficult when you onboard a client today, you have misadvised the client, you are not present to have the present when the client needs you. You are giving stories each day, and at the end of the insurance period, the client declines to renew that program. It is very, very hurting. So that client-centric approach is critical for us to take on, and making sure that we follow what we need to do. And also our operations guidelines, our processes, that also supports the entire system in terms of making sure the client is very happy with you. The excellent customer service is also very important. And I must say, where I sit, We endeavor to make sure that we reach out to our clients and the responses, and we are very, very able to address all the issues, and also make sure we follow through the promises that we said at the beginning. Critical for us, because if you promise that you'll be going to visit the client, I'll be checking on you, I'll be following on this, we have agreed to do A, B, C, D, then the client at the beginning will be so excited, but you can imagine at the end of the insurance period, when you have not surfaced and you have not done anything that you promised the client. So that takes me now to emotional intelligence. How do we empathize with our clients? Our clients are very dear to us, and many times they become part of family. And that family is really very good. So that is how you even connect with others. I think we have all had or seen that your client can introduce you to a new customer. And indeed, this has worked for me in many places, whereby a client has introduced me to or open doors for another client. And that gives me more revenue, of course, but you become a happy service provider, because you can see that there's growth in whatever you are doing, because you have earned yourself a new customer, you have earned yourself new business income. So it gives you a good feel when you handle the clients properly. But connecting with others, and also it also not in the business time or during the insurance time, but you can be part of the celebrations that they have. You can also be part of the bad part of it. They have lost a loved one. How are you supporting? How are you able to get to the client and get to make them understand that you are part of them? So it's important that it's not only just the business as usual, but you find yourself that you empathize in areas of the good and bad. High energy is something that energy levels, you have to have that positive impression. You can imagine with a dull dilemma, you are chasing away clients. You cannot want to meet a client or have a proposal. Good morning, how are you today? Fine. And you're not engaging. There's no vibe in you. You need to be, first of all, we talked about the non-verbal, which is your dress code, the smartness, the energy levels. I've seen some of us, we say that, okay, when we see the young guys are wearing their suits, they're all smart. On a Monday, he's sharp, and we're like saying, wow, you're smart. Where are you heading to? What are you going to get? Which business are you targeting today? It's because the gentleman has high energy, high levels, and he's really at his best, and he's ready to go to the market and get the business. So that high energy level works for us. We need it. We make sure that whatever we do, we are at a high. We don't get yourself to have dull moments. Don't get yourself to feel like you're not closing a deal. So in that way, you have to be persistent. At times, I can tell you, I don't know how many times I've knocked on doors, and the answer is no. The answer is no. For 5, 4, 6, 7 years, the answer is no. But that no, it has to create a smile on your face, really, because it is telling you that I'm getting closer. So you have to persevere despite the challenges. Each time you are getting to a client and the client is bouncing off, don't give up. I know we have so many foot soldiers out there in the life space, but I'm sure the person will tell you, no, I have bought a policy today. No, I have done this today. I have closed with this. And you feel let down. Please don't give up. Don't think that that's the end of the world. No. You have to find different tactics of making sure that when I get back to this client, this is a deal that I'll close. I'll look at an example today. I've been following a client for the longest time. But I know that if I get to these clients, I might not close it today. I'm looking at other avenues of how best I need to get this client in. Because it's a good client, I need this client in my books. But how do I ensure that I have this client in my books? Persistence is one. Don't lose hope. Don't give up. Another attribute that contributes to being a thriving insurance practitioner is honesty. This I can labor on, day night, day and night, but we need to all be transparent. What does your policy entail? Don't hide things. Don't give A for B. Make sure you are very transparent in your communication. You are writing your emails. You are visiting the clients. Once you visit, you go back with a communication saying, we met today. This is what we agreed on, and it's A, B, C, D. The integrity is very important because this is what builds us. Because remember, we say that we cannot actually, it's not tangible. It is something that we are trying to, we cannot, it's a service that we are selling. So we need to be transparent because and have the integrity because it builds our credibility. Clients appreciate honesty and products suitable for them. So that is very important. So having understood the power of mentorship and having understood that it's important to build your brand, having understood that the in-depth of insurance and the product knowledge is important, the insurance industry, having understood that you need both the technical and good communication skills and understanding your clients together with a stakeholder relationship. Personally, I have had a beautiful journey, and this journey has led me to many places, and it has enabled me to have different experiences. But in addition to that, one time I posted this in our WhatsApp chat, and I shared the 7 Ps. And quickly, Hajat said, Carol, we need you to share with us that 7 Ps. What is working for you? So this is what works for me, being prayerful. As an organization, it's important that everything we give it to the Lord. We thank him for the opportunities, and we request for more blessings and more opportunities that come with us. Each day you get out of your house, you need to be praying. You thank God for every opportunity. You thank God for your life. You thank God. So prayer is critical because all this, we give glory to God for what we have done and where we are going and what we need to do. So we ask him, we thank him, we glorify his name because he's everything to us. So the passion, that drive, the energy, we need that passion because our industry, remember, it's a promise. It's not tangible. You're telling that guy that, you know what, today, if I give you this policy, when a claim arises, this is what I'm going to pay you. The client cannot even understand that. So that drive, that passion you get to explain, to understand, to go out there, to navigate, I want to thank my family here, Minet family. We try to, the drive we get at times, what we do, we make sure that, yes, we are all at it. The positive energy, I've talked about this, being prompt in what we do, making sure that you have delivered to your client. You don't tell the client about policies and the policies come the following year. You try, and this is all teamwork. It's not that it's me person, an individual issue, but you try to bring all this into your teams, into your communities, into your families, being present. I cannot explain that, how we need to be present, because if the client knows that you are with him all the way, especially at the point of claim, at the point of making him understand what he needs, at the point of, even when in the bad times he has lost maybe a dear one, how are you? So presence is very important for us in many avenues, but also how do you position yourself? Positioning is very, very critical. We have different sectors in this country. The economic sectors are different. There's agriculture, there's energy, there's oil and gas, there's infrastructure, and at times you have to ask yourself now, what do I need? I need all this. but you have to make sure that you are well positioned, even who you want to meet. I can tell you for a fact that even if you want to meet the president today, you can meet the president. It's not difficult, but it's how you network, how you position yourself. You would want to say, today, I want to go to Ministry of Agriculture. Through your team, your network, your research, your everything, you have understood this is what I need to do. So you position yourself. It could be through conferences. Conferences and network areas are very good places because that is how you meet somebody who is not in a very strict environment or a space where he's not able to engage you. But if whatever it is, the person you have always wanted to meet, you position yourself that maybe during coffee break, you introduce yourself and make sure that you engage and set the subject matter. Patience is also very key. I know we're in a very competitive world. We know we have to get into doing many things, but I've just took an example of never give up. So the patience, keep on going, keep going, and create patience around whatever you do. But of course, when you're fast tracking, it could be some are small paces, some are very fast paces, but yes, but you are moving. So when a client communicates to you that this is where we are heading, and this is what we need to do, maybe you have been targeting a certain project, and all of a sudden the project has been deferred, and all your hope is lost. No, don't lose it. Just keep on going and be patient, because when that happens, then you'll enjoy the moment. I'll give a good example of the oil and gas sector. For the longest time, the oil and gas sector, they kept on saying, we are going to have the oil 2017, oil 2018, oil 20, it kept on going. But when they signed those agreements, and when they say that move, remember, you have been patient all along, you have done your homework, you have planted the seed, you have created all your networks, so it's time for activation. And I can tell you at that point, you'll have delivered, you'll have won. So it's important that you keep track, keep positioning yourself, keep present, understand what the issues are, what the new developments coming up, making sure that you understand all it takes for you to get that win. So that tells us or informs us that our drive, that desire, how determined you are, the dedication you put in, the discipline that you have in making sure that you get to be the best is what the 5 Ds are all about. So we'll have to, there's need to focus on the hard work, no giving up. I must say that it's at times challenging. Yes, it's not all rosy, but consistency we have talked about, being persistent we have talked about, that is the focus and hard work. You keep going. At times they are slow paced. At times it's not an easy game. It's just like how you can be in a football pitch where we have different, we have the strikers, we have the defenders, so it's something that you need to, even when you're working as a team, we need to work together. We need to see how we can be able to focus and push the agenda that we are working on. So social network is something that is so powerful, and that tells you that each time you're out there, you need to develop your networks, because your network is your network. I've just mentioned that how do you position yourself? How do you need to get to a level where you are going to meet this person and who will be able to support you in what you want to do? So as you grow in your career, you have to continue to acquire the skills and business acumen. But the only thing that will truly make a significant impact is those that who you'll connect with. And connecting is something very powerful because you build it over time. And we have been talking about trust, trust, trust. And that is the only way. Once the clients trust you, your network trusts you, all will get back to you when it comes to any risk need. So in conclusion, and I'll leave you to ponder with this final thought that I have, but more importantly, I thought I would end up with a story on what would have been, what I would consider my greatest moment in regard to what we are saying here today in terms of the power of mentorship and how we are building our brand. And it's like, I'll recall many years at the time we were Aeon, when I was identified as an Aeon champion. And at that time, it was something that I did not expect, but it was something that was built around what we were doing and what we are discussing. So the great values and the exposures, that what enabled me to say, okay, fine, I think I'm enjoying what I do. And it gave me a position that led to inspire me to do a lot more just out of that. Simply because when that happened, I think at that time they had to now come up with a questionnaire, and that they were trying to identify who should be their champion at that time, and that was in what you do, and that time we were the sponsors of Man U United. So there was the award of the Aeon United Champion Award, and under that individual nomination category, it was a good feeling, but I embraced all the Aeon behaviors, which include what we have just talked about, and also creating an extra mile in terms of achieving the business objective. That led me to get that award. And I just felt very good about it. And having signed off by the president of Aeon, it was such a good feeling. But of course, there are down moments as well. The down moments, the low moments as well. Low moments is when you lose a key client, a client that has been so dear to you. And that has been my low moment. Losing a client who is so dear to you, you have worked so hard, you have done everything possible, but there comes the client telling you, my apologies, and even sitting you down and making you understand that due to certain dynamics, I'm sorry, Carol, but we cannot continue together. So that has been my story. And as the world evolves and now we are moving into the AI space, I think it's very important for us ladies to have the power to finish strong in whatever we do. And many times when we listen to AI, we are told, no, a human face will not be relevant. But I can tell you in our space, we are still relevant. So the psychological aspect, the stamina, you have to say you've got it, you can do it. And that's self-belief in you. So it's a moment where you have to put your best foot forward and make sure that you deliver. Self-disruption. We are in a world where we have to continue learning. New things come up, emerging risks come up. Technology, clients are doing things differently. When COVID came, it was a good disruptor. So we had to ask ourselves, what do we need to do differently? I remember at that time, COVID struck, we were told to sit down in our homes. And at that time, no communication, but we had to navigate on how best we needed to communicate. And that's how we are today. We are able to communicate online. We had this belief that we need to visit our clients physically. But today we are seeing more of online, and it's more of a global village. So keep learning and relearning and learning, so that you need to recalibrate and know what works for you as an individual. The reality check is that do not self-negate. Ask yourself, do I have what it takes to win the race? Do you have all the tools to deliver? What can enable you to close the deal? What enables you to be relevant in the market? So that you need to understand. The strategic opportunities are many. So you need to focus and prioritize that. Set yourself apart and see strategically. You look at your goals and say, okay, fine, this is what I need to do. All hands on the deck as a team. You need to rally yourself plus that team to meet those strategic opportunities, your goals that you have set. Without people, we cannot be win. Together we win, and together we fall if we do not follow what we need to do. So what I like most in all these things that we do, there is a reward. And the reward at times has to be yourself. It's important to reward yourself. Pamper yourself, do what is good for you, make yourself feel good. It's important because we work so hard as ladies. You can go for your facial scrubs, your body massage, your ice cream treats, you're going to, I see at times the status of some of our ladies, and indeed, yes, they're enjoying their life because you work hard, but you need also to reward yourself at a point where you say that this is what I need to do, and this is how I need to reward myself. So ladies and gentlemen, I would want to thank you so much. I come to the end of my presentation, and I'll take this opportunity to thank you all for listening, and also thank my Minet family that have logged in. Thank you so much. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the WIN executive who have given us this opportunity to listen and learn from each other. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Caroline Athiyo. Thank you for coming through and continuously come again and again and again. And I'm gonna sneak this information. Moon Insurance is organizing an amazing event that is yet to take place in 2 months' time. Get prepared for it. I'm really excited. Just keep your phones ready. Anytime we shall be letting you know what that is. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.